Hey y'all, what's going on? This is J Marie of J Marie Booklets, and today I am making a special video for Leslie. So Leslie left a comment in one of the videos asking a question. She said that she is a secretary. She works in the hospital on a unit, and she was thinking about taking the test to become certified, but the test had a lot of questions on physician orders, and she said, "Well, I don't do physician orders," which is same thing with me. We don't put in the orders anymore. There used to be written orders, and now everything is electronic. The doctors put in the orders, or the nurses are putting in the orders. I mean, you still every now and then may see written orders, but for the most part, not too much. So she was like, "Well, how can I pass the test that asks about written orders if I don't use the written orders, if I don't do it?" So I'm just gonna make this quick video, and we're gonna work it out together. So I just want you to know that when I first became a unit secretary, we had written orders. So that was a long time ago. We had written orders, and the first thing you had to do was learn how to read scribble, because most doctors, their handwriting is atrocious, and then you had to figure out what the doctor, who actually wrote the order. Like it was something. I remember at the first hospital, when I first started, they had a book that had a copy of all the doctor's signatures. So if you really I mean, when I say a book, I'm talking about it was a book of all the doctors in the hospital and a copy of their signature. So if you could not figure out, you would just go get the book and flip the pages until it matched. And then that's who the doc. Oh, okay, it was Dr. So and so. And so, God, I can't believe that. But yeah, they had a book, and it had. I'm serious. Somebody, ooh, that was a good secretary that sat and did that, made that copy. But yeah, it was a book, and but you can, so who wrote it, but what did they write? And so, especially being when you're new to a hospital, you don't know the doctors. So, you got to go ask someone, can you tell what this says, or can you tell what doctor wrote it, things like that. So, but anyway, so when I came down here, they were starting to phase out the physician orders. So I was like literally at the tail end. They were going live with the CPOE, which is computerized. What is it? Computerized physician order entry. It's something like that. CPOE, and but they were like phasing it out. So they were like on the tail end. The only ones who were still doing it were the ER. They were the only ones still writing orders, the ER doctors. But then eventually they phased them out. So now everyone is supposed to be. The only time you will really see physician orders is if the computer system goes down. Then you're going to have a problem. And, that's probably why it's so much issue when the computers go down, because if especially for a long time, a long period of time, you don't know who the doctor is, who wrote what, and you got a lot of. I mean, because they were phasing out when I came down here in 2012. So if you just became a new secretary, and then you have never, you don't know what to do if the computers go down and the doctors all start writing orders. You don't know who wrote it. You don't know what you put in, what you don't put in. So this video is just a quick video. Most of the physician orders are written just like this. I mean, they are like, they're pretty much like this, no matter where you go. So the physician orders, like this right here, this sheet, and I found this on the internet. So this is just something I saw on the internet, because I was like, well, because, of course, I don't want to bring anything from work. And I was like, well, let me look online and see what I can find. So I just typed in physician orders, examples, things like that. And so I found this. Now, like I said, this is not scribble. This is actually, you can read this. So that's the reason why I use this. But I'm telling you, sometimes you have to hold the sheet up to the light and hold it at an angle and try to figure out what it is that doctor wrote. I remember those days. So this actually looks like one of our progress notes that we used to have. We don't even do progress notes anymore because the doctor puts it in the computer. But this is actually what this remind me of, the progress note. But most of them, the orders are written just like this. And up at the top in the right hand corner, you have the patient's name, the MR number, the account number, date of birth, the attending doctor, things like that. So that's usually how it goes. But the orders are usually written just like this. So this one, the first thing you'll say is admit to med surge. That's what it is. And then the next thing will be the diagnosis. CBR, I'm trying to think what CBR is. It's probably the diagnosis. I'm trying to think what CBR is. I don't know what CBR is. I'm looking at the other things. CBR, I'm not sure. Then next to that, it will be stat order. So like admit to med surge, you don't put that in because if they're on your floor, they're there. So you don't need to put that in. CBR, that's just the diagnosis. So admitting will have that information. Just a moment. So that's nothing you will have to worry about. A stat CBC, that is an order you will put in. That's a lab. And you need to put that in as stat. And then consultation with Dr. T.L. Payne. Usually the doctors will write what type of specialist that doctor is. So here it just says consultation with Dr. T.L. Payne. Well, it's not that hard just to look up and see what that doctor's name. You can find that doctor, just type in Payne, whatever system you use to find the doctor, and usually their specialty will pop up. So that's a consultation. So you will put that order in, and then you will call it in and then document it. So however the process is. So you put the order, you actually put that order in the computer because that is an order. So you put in the stat CBC, you will order that. And you will put in the consultation, you will put that order in. Because if they come back later and they're looking at the chart and they was like, well, why was Dr. Payne consulted and there's no order? Well, there is an order. It was just written, but you need to take the written order and put it in the computer. Head of bed, so they want the head of bed to be above 30 degrees. So you will put that order in the computer because you can put that order in, and usually most systems have some kind of way where when you put an order in, if it's a call back, a phone order, a written order, I'm trying to think it's another order. But you will put that under written order. So all these will go under written order because there's a written order. And head of bed, so you will put that order in. You go look in your system, head of bed, and what degrees it needs to be in. And then you should have a sheet or some kind of form, sign, and you will put that over the bed so that everyone would know that head of the bed needs to be up that high. Like that, it does not need to be lower than that. It needs to be there. A weight daily. That's the next line, weight daily. So they're saying that the patient needs to be weighed daily. So you need to put that order in, and it needs to be, it should be when you order in some kind of way where it's like everyday order, a standing order that patient is to be weighed daily. So you will put that in. Rectal temp every 4 hours, you will put that order in. You will put rectal temp every 4 hours. Now you're not going to do that. That's a nurse. The nurse does that. I mean, you can't. I guess you can if you want to. You want to be, but yeah, no. But a rectal temp, you will put that order in so the nurse knows she needs to do that, or that they need to do that. Same thing with the weight daily. You need to put that in so they know that patient needs to be weighed. Intake and output. That means you need to put that order in. That means that they need to measure what the patient takes in and what they put out. So what they drink, and I will assume it means eat also, and then what they put out. So what they urinate and what they poop. So you need to put that order in so the nurse and the CNAs know that they need to do that on that patient. And then the last one is a medication, and you do not put that in. So whatever way you have for getting orders to pharmacy, that is what you do, because that is a medication, and secretaries do not put in medication orders. And then the doctor signs it. That's the doctor's name, and then you would take a pen, because what I used to do is I would check everything. So I would have a red pen and I would go down. So where it says admit to med surge, I will put a check mark by it. Even though I didn't do anything, I will put a check mark by it. CBR, I will put a check mark by it because that's usually a diagnosis. The stat CBC, I will put a check mark by it, put the order in. Consultation, once I finished calling in the consult, put a check mark by it, put it in. Same thing, head or bed, go get the sign, put it on the wall, put the order in, check mark, check mark, check mark. And then with the medication, I would not put a check mark. And the reason why I'm putting a check mark is to let everyone know when they come back that I saw all of it. Well, I'm trying to think. I guess I did. Well, if you fax the orders down to the pharmacy, if you have some kind of way, I guess I would put a check mark by the medication, because I did. So to let everyone know that I saw all of it. I did not skip one. I saw everything and I put a check mark by it. Then underneath the doctor's name, you would like draw a line from one side of the paper to the other. And then under that line, you will initial it, put your title. If you're a secretary, HUC, whatever you're called, you will put it. You will put the date and the time. And then you go on to the next one. Now, a long time ago, when I used to do it, the doctors would leave charts all over the place, and they used to flag them, like have it sticking out of the chart, so you would see that chart had new orders. Sometimes, they used to have a spot where the doctors would put put the charts with orders on them, just to make it easy. But you still had to get up and go look around. I mean, you just had to assume that just because the chart was sitting back there and like nothing was flagged does not mean that the doctor didn't put orders in. So you just keep that in mind. If the system ever goes down and you got charts laying all around, go through those charts. Don't assume that they're going to flag the chart for you, because you got to understand, you got a lot of new doctors, coming out, and all they know is electronic. They don't know that when the chart, like when the computers go down, all they know is they just need to write the orders. They don't know that, they might not know they need to flag it for you. You understand? Or put it over there by you so you'll see it. So it's not, it's not just a secretary problem. It's just a problem. It's not a problem. It's an issue, because you got a lot of new people that just, if you grew up on a cell phone, what's a payphone? Like, I got a cell phone. What's a payphone? What's a phone booth? What is that? It's just times are different. So, but I'm telling you, the orders look just like this. And you can go online, just Google, just type in physician orders examples, and then go to images on Google, and you will see what the orders look like.